Hello, good people. This is Dustin Coyle. You are listening to Intelligent Thoughts, the daily wager for Monday. What is the date here? April 24th, 2017. Pretty damn good weekend overall. 4 for 4 yesterday. It's unfortunate that you guys don't ever get to hear about that one. Saturday, not as good. Like 2 for 4. So just barely up on the weekend, or a little bit up on the weekend. Added some weird parlays too. MMA, I did well. John Dodson? I parlayed that with Boca Juniors, this Argentine basketball team. Got some dollars there. Also parlayed Ally Akinta with Cub Swanson. Won that one. Lost on Jessica Penne. But overall, just a pretty good weekend there in the sports gambling world for Dusty. Hope it was well for everybody else. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. With no further ado, let's start the show. It's the motherfucking daily wager, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That might be the new theme song. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Super dope though, right? Maybe I should sing in key. Who knows? Alrighty, 3 games in the league today. NBA, I'm talking about. 5 o'clock game. We have a battle of a game 5 between teams that I've split the first 4. We have Milwaukee at... What the fuck is this? Milwaukee at Toronto. Toronto wins game 4 by playing a little bit of small ball. Norman Powell, normally their 6th man, they bring him off, they start him in place of Valanciunas. Valanciunas comes off the bench and just plays like a direct matchup with Greg Monroe. And they move Ibaka to the 5, and then they put Norman Powell at the 3, and then they spread him out and had a lot of success there. They're probably going to do the same here. At home, they'll be favored for sure. Giannis had 7 turnovers in game 4. I think he was shot 33% or something like that. Obviously he's not going to be able to do it themselves. Chris Middleton has played well all series long. Malcolm Brogdon has played well all series long. Monroe as well. Monroe's been playing really well. Let's take a look at the line. All right, 6-point spread here. And Toronto is a minus 245. I feel pretty comfortable with Toronto today. They seem to look more like themselves. In the 2 wins, I think Kyle Lowry's averaging 30 or 28, and in the 2 losses, he's averaging 8.5. So, you could, clearly he is somebody that you have to get going if you want to win. If you're the Raptors here, I think that the small ball lineup is good. It makes Valanciunas more fresh when he comes off the bench. Ibaka can generally handle, and he can shoot too. So you really have 5 players that can shoot the 3, which is good. More athleticism against Giannis, which is also, that's obviously valuable. You need that. Size never hurts, but he's just such a difficult person to D up. I guess this actually worked a little bit better, just having more pesky players rather than bigger, stifling players. I like Toronto at home here. I think they do win the game. I definitely like the minus 245. That's not too alarming. That's about what I thought it would be. When I woke up today, I thought it'd probably be a 250. That's pretty much where I thought it was, and I'll take that shit for sure. I think it was really flukish almost that Milwaukee took game 1 in Toronto. I think that Toronto underestimated them because they had been, they're the veteran team, while Milwaukee, wasn't even in the playoff picture 2 months ago. So I think that they kind of slept on, and then they did lose by fucking 30 points or whatever in game 3 in Milwaukee. That one I don't think they were sleeping. I just think they got outplayed. Giannis played incredible that game. And Kyle Lowry didn't show up for that one. But tonight I fully expect, I would actually be pretty surprised if Milwaukee won the game tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and take the money line, Toronto Raptors. All right, game 2 in the NBA today. We got the Washington Wizards at the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta won game 3 pretty pretty handedly. Bradley Beal was like 6 for 20 shooting. I think he had like 12 points or something like that. Or was it even less? Did he have 6 points? I don't remember. Didn't play well, obviously. Schrader has played great. He's averaging 25 for the series. John Wall's averaging 31 for the series. Looks like it might come down to whoever plays better out of these two. Clearly, I like Washington. I'm tempted to take. So I don't really know who's going to win. I like Washington for the series. I don't really know who's going to win today. It's sort of a toss-up game to me. I think that the Wizards roster is better, but at home in Atlanta, I think that you obviously give a slight advantage that way, and so it's pretty even keel for me on that one. The spread is, let's see, -2.5 for Atlanta, but that's with a heavy juice. That's about to change to a 3-point spread for Atlanta. Money line -150, +130 for Washington. I'm tempted to take the +130 for Washington. I don't think I'm going to. I think we'll probably lay off of it. Unless it can add me. What I might do is bet the first and the third game as like heavier money line bets, and then maybe do a parlay between the same team first and third game plus the Wizards and see if I can get a few bucks out of that one. Other than that, I think I'm going to stay away from it. If the spread for some reason, money comes in on Atlanta and the spread goes to 160 or something like that, I think that's even 150. I think might be a pretty shoe in there. I mean, that's pretty good odds there that Washington's going to win the game. All right, in game 3 of the night, we have a team looking for the sweep. We have Golden State at Portland. Portland played great in game 3, ended up surrendering the lead at the end, lost by 6 points. They got Nurkic back. He, I guess, will be playing today as well. They'll absolutely have to have him playing well to beat Golden State tonight. Golden State will be without Steve Kerr for the second straight game due to an undisclosed illness. He'll be watching the game from the hotel in Portland, from his hotel room in Portland. Mike Brown, the assistant coach, is going to be the head coach for at least the remainder of the series here. Sean Livingston hasn't played all series. Matt Barnes hasn't played yet in the series. Game 3, Kevin Durant sat. I guess I should have said that also. He's going to sit, or he's questionable for today. He might sit, I guess. Strained calf for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he sits. I like Golden State here. I think that, like I said before, talking to my buddy who lives in Portland, I thought that the Blazers, their best shot of winning a game was going to be Game 3. They came out and they played well, had somewhat of an emotional letdown late, and I don't see a recovery coming for them. I think that there was just too much energy expended, most likely in that game. It's possible. It's going to have to be a masterful performance from at least 2 of the Blazers in order for them to beat. And I'm talking 36 and 41 or something like that, in order for them to beat the Warriors tonight. I just think that their team, they've just been through, even to get into the playoffs, they had to expel so much energy. Compared to Golden State, who just kind of coasted to a 14 or 15 game win streak there at the end without Kevin Durant even. So I don't think the Durant injury really hurts them too much here. Like I just said, they're used to playing and winning without him. I like Golden State. I think Golden State's going to win the game. Let's take a peek at the spread here. -7 and a -330 money line, +275 for the Blazers. If that would have been Game 3, I think that would have felt good for the Blazers at +275. This game, I'm taking Golden State -330. I think it's a shoe-in. They're gonna get the brooms out. They're sweeping Portland, and they will be moving on to the second round of the playoffs. I'm going to go a little heavier on the money line there. I'm going to also try to parlay that, like I just said, with the Raptors money line and the underdog Washington Wizards money line. I think that's probably a pretty solid little idea there. And that is the end of the games in the NBA tonight, but we're going to look at some NBA series prices before we end the show here. I already have the Rockets, I think, minus 600 or something like that. Or minus 500. I have the Rockets minus 500. I actually had that before last night. Now it's probably going to be 1,000 or something like that. I don't know. I don't even see it available here. I think the Rockets are obviously going to win. I had the Cavaliers in 4, and I had them in 5. I did like a double thing right there. Made a little bit of money on that because they obviously swept. And we're looking here. We got series prices here. The Raptors minus 240. I don't mind that. I'm not going to touch it right now, though. The Bucks are going to be a plus 200 there. The Wizards minus 385. And the Hawks a plus 325. I feel pretty sure that the Wizards are going to win that game, or that series, but that's not the one I'm looking for either. Here we are. Spurs minus 650 over the Grizz. I know they lost that. Those are going to be the only 2 games that the Grizzlies win this series. I did say I thought they were going to take them to 6 or 7, but it was just too hard for them to get those wins. The Spurs will definitely win the next 2 games, or at least the next 2 out of 3. So minus 650 there. I like that shit. And I think that's about it that I was going to talk about as far as do I like the Celtics minus 450? Do I like the Bulls plus 375? So that one's so difficult to tell because of what's happening with Rondo. Maybe I'll wait a minute and see what the Rondo situation looks like. But at 2-2, honestly, the Celtics are probably going to win that too. So I think maybe the Celtics minus 450 seems like a pretty good deal. Maybe even parlay that with your Spurs pick. All right. Well, this is going to bring us to the end of the Daily Wager for Monday, April 24th, 2017. Everybody get out there, put your picks in until later. I think I'm going to be coming with the... sorry, guys, I didn't do the breakdown. I was sick on Saturday. Felt like shit. Really bad headache. So I didn't do the UFC Fight Night 108 breakdown, but we're going to do a recap here of that, of some of the boxing of the weekend, a little bit of it, and Bellator 178. I think that's about it. That's probably going to be coming here in a little bit. I got to do some shit. I got to watch a couple more fights. Clean my house up a little bit. Until later, though, I love you.